Hello and welcome. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out. This is going to be part 3 for the birthday challenge for JanetKay with Sunflowers and Joy. Hashtag joy for JanetKay. Making a birthday card and an ATC. Let's see. I made the birthday card in part 1 and part 2. This video is part 3. And this is her card that's finished. And yeah, it's kind of, I have all my lights on because it's late at night. So I'm trying to finish this up and get it filmed so that I could get everything in the mail. So there's that. I will sign it here. So I have a piece of paper. I'm trying to keep it in to protect it until it gets shipped. Okay. So there's that. I'll put all the information in the description. ATC size, I looked it up. It said 2.5 by 3.5. This is a first for me. I've never made one, so I did go ahead and make a prototype. And this is it. Let me get something to put it on. So this is my prototype here. Oops. Hang on to it. I've got gold behind the Hummingbird. And it's die cut out and then a piece laid in there that's lace. The butterfly is also die cut out. So I really like how that turned out. I didn't have a frame to fit it, so I had to make one. And I'll show you how I did that. So I have all the pieces cut out, so I'll just go ahead and show you how I made this. It took me a bit to figure out what I wanted to do. I really wanted a lot of color, so I'm pretty happy with that. I know that it's probably not all prepper color, but I really like it. Okay, so I started out with a base and I couldn't decide. I did white cardstock and I did brown cardstock, covered it with lace. I have these two laces that I got from Joann's a long time ago. They've lasted me a really long time. I like gluing these to paper. And all I did was use my Scotch permanent glue stick and some cardstock and let it dry. So I'm not going to use the brown because I like the white background. So this is already dry. I could show you how I did that here. Well, you know how to glue. I just took a glue stick and then laid it over there and let it dry. I've showed that before. So I'm going to trim this up. So I have all my little tiny pieces cut out already. I've got my mat here and it's driving me nuts just to keep down the glare. So I'm just going to give this a trim. Got a little extra. And I'm glad I went with 65-pound cardstock because it's kind of on the thin side. After I started doing all the layers, yeah, it built up. Okay. Just trying to make sure I get it all. I think that's good. Alright, so then I want this to glue on. So then I took my die set, and this set is by Momenta. Just want to poke out that one little piece right there. There we go. This set here, Momenta 2046365, these are the samples. I like to do a sample of what they look like, size and everything. So I use the Hummingbird, I use the little flower die here, and I use the leaves. Now I've got 2 different types of leaves cut out. I think I want to use, this is cardstock. I think I'm going to use the cardstock leaves. The ones I used on here are the ones I made for out of painter's paper, and then I glued it to that roll of paper I have that's like examining room paper that they put down. Makes it very flexible, so almost like papery. But I like the cardstock. I think I'm going to use the cardstock this time. So I have that. I cut out several different types of hummingbirds to try to see the color that I wanted. And I really like this color right here. And this is from, I see a lot of people have this cardstock here, scrapbook paper. So you can get a lot out of scrapbook paper, not only for just the print that's on it, but when you die cut something out, you can get, you know, a variation. I like that. So I cut that out. And then the little flower, this time around, this one here I just cut out of the scrapbook paper here, but then the second time around I glued it to 65-pound cardstock, then cut it out, and it put a nice little detail in the flower. So that's kind of cool. I'm glad I did that. Same with the butterfly. I just used yellow polka dot scrapbook paper and glued it to cardstock and then die cut it out. Just gave it a little something. Alright, so there's that. So now what I have to do is cut out, I want to lose these little pieces. Cut out, oh, I still got pieces in here. Let me poke those out. I'm going to cut out the hummingbird, so I'm trying to figure out whereabouts I did that. So I want to try to lay it out so I get it kind of exactly. I need my butterfly. So that's going to go there. This is kind of how I laid it out, because I knew I was going to frame it and I wanted to keep everything as much as possible. So that's going to go like that. I may have to move him just a little bit. Here's my other leaf. I'm going to use these. So I think like that right there. Just seems like he's up a little bit high. Right there. I think I'm going to leave that right there. So I'm going to put a piece of tape on that. This is that best ever craft tape I got at Spellbinders. I love it. So I'm just going to tape this down so it doesn't move. Cut that out, and you'll see why in a minute. So let me bring my big shot up here. Okay. I'm just going to give this a cut. And because this is fabric to paper, I'm going to go through a second time. So there's a lot to cut through, but it will cut. Oops. All right, let me move this. Take this tape off. It's good tape. I like it. So now I'm gonna take this out, and it cut pretty good. And then I have I can clean him out later. I do have 45-pound tracing paper in here. I just leave it in there. Alright, so there's that. And then I have a lace hummingbird to use for later. Here's one that's cleaned out from the other one. Excuse me. So it's a nice little, it's lace. So that'll be nice to use on something. Alright, so now I have that. So then this is the one I'm going to use. So he's going to go in there, he or she. And then I need to cut out that butterfly. Just want to make sure that I get it right where I want it. Probably right there is good because my frame, what did I do with my frame? Let me find my frame. Okay, here's the frame. Okay, that's a smaller one. Okay. And basically what I did was I used this set here. I'm going to take it out of the thing. I got from Crafty Bean's D-Stash sale, and it's Spellbinder's Nestability. It's A2 Matting Basics. So I really like this one. I haven't put it on magnet sheet yet, but I've used it. So I basically took two frames, put them together and cut it out so I would get this smaller piece here, and that is like the closest size that I need. So thank you, Tina at Crafty Bean, for she does her D-Stash sales usually Tuesdays and Wednesday nights around 5 p.m. Eastern time. So if she doesn't go in her posts, and she'll let you know I can't do it tonight. So this was close, but a little bit too big. And I just, actually I'll do it now. I cut it in the corner. I cut the corners and then I just put it back together and then trimmed it. Trimmed it off. I like how that turned out. I really do. Okay, so I think I'm good there with my butterfly. I think I'm going right there with my butterfly. So let me grab that piece of tape back. And then cut that out. And I think that's the only thing I have to cut out. So let's do that. Okay. So I'm going to cut this out. Oops, let me take this out so nothing happens to it. Forgot about this little guy being in there. And you don't have to do this. This is just me and my brain, what I like to do. Cut stuff out and put it back in. I call it like inlay. I could just glue, where's my yellow piece? I could have just glued that on top, but I just like it. I like it because people are like, how did you do that? You know? So I've got a white butterfly to use. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so what I had to do, because I put gold paper behind here before this stuff is so shiny, before I put everything on, I glued this gold foil paper behind. That way when I put my paper in there, or my little hummingbird, you get that little shine. See that shine shining through? It just gives it another element. But I don't want that gold showing through my butterfly. So what I did was I took a piece of paper, just glued a piece of paper on the back side of this butterfly. Right here, just the mask. Okay, so I'm going to glue this just so that only white shows through on the butterfly. I didn't want it gold. It just, to me, I just didn't like it. So I'll do that. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use my art glitter glue because I've got a lot of fabric and everything here, and I know it works. I've got the Barely art glue, but I haven't had any luck with fabric on that, using it, so, but that's okay. So I'm just going to stick that there. Might have a little trim right there. Maybe I'm good. Alright, so there's that. So now I'm going to glue my butterfly in there. Just going to lay it in there. So this is part 3. It's taken me 3 videos to do a birthday card and an ATC. So I'm just going to wiggle that like a puzzle piece until it fits in there. And okay, that's pretty good. So see, it's in there. It's not raised up, but you can put your finger over it and know that it's in there. So that's really cool. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is glue this onto here. And for that, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac And I know for sure that I cannot trust it to stay forever. So I will stitch it. I stitch this before I put my frame on. So I've got my sewing machine here next to me. I'm not going to move it to the desk, so I'll have to stitch it real quick while I'm filming. So I'm just going to hit this up to get it drying so I can stitch around it. Then one thing about the foil papers, if you get any glue on it, it will start peeling it and changing the color. So yeah. So I'm going to set this down real quick and not move it. I'm not going to move it around, because if that glue gets in there, it's going to discolor it. And then I'll just trim around it. So this is down, but I won't be able to trust it to be forever. It'll peel up just because this is slick. Now I did put that down with art glitter glue, and so far so good. I hope he stays in there. Okay, so there's that. So let me trim this, get rid of all that shiny business. So I hope if you like die cutting and you do a lot of die cutting that you try something like this, where you die cut it out of a piece of paper or whatever. I mean, that's pretty just like that. And then, you know, lay something else back in there. It would be better if it wasn't this shiny slick paper, but okay, for this I'm going to use the art glitter glue, and then I'm going to lay that in there, and I'm going to do what I did for my card, for the corners on my card, is just put the glue on my hand and dab it in there and just hope for the best. So we'll see. Just gonna dab it. I really don't want that glue poking through. Just a lot of detail. There's just no way around it. Just going to wiggle it to slide it in there and feel where that goes. Okay, that's pretty good. Try to get my paper towel. I cleaned my Fabri-Tac top with this, so I just want to try to get that extra glue if possible without moving it around into the gold. Okay, I think I'm good. Let me get a wet wipe. Okay. Yeah, I was hoping not to have this video be too long. So far so good. It's going good. Where am I at? 25 minutes? Okay. Alright, so there's that. I want to put that little flower. So I'm glad I glued this scrapbook paper to cardstock because it just gave it a little bit more something, and there's like some texture on it where this little texture on here poked through, excuse me, on the paper. So I just want to kind of eyeball and figure out where I want this. Kind of like that. Right there. I'm going to use the art glitter glue. Oops, I forgot to put my top on. Hopefully I didn't dry out. Yep. And a little air bubble. Alright, sorry about that. Of course, I'm on my good... Well, this needs to be replaced. Let me just see if I got enough. It's just hard to hang on to this. Just add a little bit more. I want to make sure it sticks down really good. Of course, I got it in the wrong hand. I think right there is good. Dab it. I think I got enough glue there. Alright, so now I need to put my flower or my leaves down. I want to use these here. This is out of cardstock. So I'm going to go like that. Something like that. I want it kind of like that. Okay. Let's see if I can make that happen. I'm going to use the art glitter glue because I know it'll hold to that fabric for sure. Or the lace. I keep calling it fabric, but it's lace, but it will. Alright, let's see if I can get this kind of like that. There we go. Do this one just like that. Oh, that's cute. I almost want to do a little dab of glue right there too. These tweezers have a lot of glue on them. Time to clean them. Good enough. Give that a press. So see, that went together pretty quickly. Once I had a plan, okay, that's good. Hopefully you can see. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine, which is right next to me, so you won't hear anything but me stitching, and I'll try to be quick about it, and I'm just going to give it a stitch. I'm going to stitch it from the back side here. This is going to be facing up, so my nice, clean, good stitch will be on the back side, because you're not going to see that anyway, so I'm going to be covering it up with these little pieces here. So I'm going to stitch it all the way around, and I'll be right back. I'm still here. Okay, it's over. I did a much better stitching job on this one than I did on this one, so I'm gonna pull the stitching to the front, yeah, and just tie it off. If you want it to go to the front, just pull on the stitch and it'll pull up, and you can take a seam ripper or your little pokey tool and just pull that thread up so they're both to the top. Just going to give it a tie off here. Oops. Now this is embroidery thread, so it's really strong. My little scissors. Oh, there you are. There's that. It's just hard to see at night. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue, the art glitter glue, on those just to make sure they're going to stay. And the reason I did the stitching around is because of the foil paper. I just struggle getting it to stick. So that's cute. That turned out really cute. So see my stitching there. I got a little off kilter there, but I was trying to hurry and get back to you. I probably should have dragged my sewing machine over, but last time I did that, my foot pedal wouldn't work. I don't know what was going on. Okay, I'm going to put these down with the Fabri-Tac because it'll grab that lace pretty good. So let's see. That's going to go like that. I put the side pieces on first, and then I put the top pieces on, almost like a picture frame. So if you have a frame that doesn't fit your project, you can just cut it apart and put it back together. I'm due for a new bottle here, but I'll wait until I get back from Florida to get some. Okay, let me put this on here, split the difference, and then I'll want to push it all the way to the edge, because I did measure this cardstock before I started, 2.5 by 3.5. So that's pretty good. That looks good. So do the other side, and that should be dry, and I'll give it a trim. Oops, I need this one here. Trying to figure out which is front and which is back. I should have left it on its side so it wouldn't go back down to the bottom, because I'm down to the nitty-gritty here. Set that there, split the difference. So I'm going to give it a trim anyways. And then make sure I get it even with the edge. This turned out really cute. Okay. I'm going to give this a trim. Let's see. I think I want my sharper scissors. Excuse my reach. I like these little ones here. Just going to trim it even. There we go. Got one more. Okay, that's good. So now it's framed, and now I'm going to put the top pieces on. And it'll all be framed out, good to go. So I've been watching Janet's channel. She's been getting quite a few entries, so I'm excited. I want to get this in the mail before I go to Florida. So I'll only have just a smidge to trim off this one on this edge here, just a small little tip. Give that a good press. And then put this last one on and it'll be done. And I don't know, should I sign the back? I have no idea. Is that a thing? I might sign it and put the date, right? One good thing about the Fabri-Tac is you got some wiggle room to move it around. It's perfect. All right, let me put this lid on before I have an accident. All right, one last trim here. Just one small little piece. Those aren't strong enough. I might have to get my Tim Holtz. Yeah. These are sharp, so just be careful because once they bite into something, they will just take your time. Oh yeah, that's sweet. Excuse me, just give it a little trim. I think it's good. So that's cute. I really like that. I really like how those turned out. I'll get rid of this paper. So let's see, which one was my first one, second one? This was the second one because I did a different color leaves. So what do you think? My ATC. I like how they turned out. Pretty cool. Okay, so that's it for Janet Sunflower and Joy. My contribution to her birthday challenge, and then her card. She'll just get one of these. I want to keep one as a reminder, and then her birthday card. I'm not going to write in it, but I will sign the back, so I'll just write her a little note. Really like how that turned out. Very cool. I still got a little bit of trimming to do, but I can do that off camera. All right. If you're going to join in, your birthday card and ATC has to be in by June 2nd, but I'll put Janet's channel and information and the actual video where she talks about everything in the description for you. So from here on in, I'm not sure how many videos I will have. I have tried to film ahead. I just haven't had any luck, so I'll have a video when I can. Take good care. Bye.